Leaving a narcissist is hard. Growing after leaving is hard. And for those who are still trying to detach, still caught in the emotional, mental, spiritual tug of war, I see you because I've been there. And I want you to know you are not weak. You are doing one of the hardest things a human can do, and that is reclaiming your power from someone who worked overtime to convince you you had none. It's not a stroll in the park. It's not a walk in the park. And my name is Iyabo Oyawale. And by the grace of the Almighty, I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. And on this channel, I share biblical wisdom for dealing with the scourge, the pain, and the mess of narcissistic abuse. And if you're serious about healing from narcissistic abuse, you're going to hit the subscribe button right away in order for you to become a member of this strong and supportive community where we hold hands virtually in our fight against narcissistic abuse. And so turn on notifications after subscribing, and thank you so much for doing that in advance. So let me make this personal confession. I used to think something was wrong with me, that I wasn't strong enough, that if I tried harder, loved deeper, prayed more, or explained myself better, the narcissist would finally hear me, understand me, choose me. But no matter how hard I tried, I felt like I was sinking, and the hardest part wasn't just walking away. It was staying away and rebuilding from the ruins. It was the hardest thing I ever did, I tell you, but I'm super grateful for where I am today. So how did I train my brain to do hard things? How did I train my brain to choose to do hard things? And some of you are trying to leave but feel frozen. You have kids together, you share a home together, or your entire identity is wrapped around pleasing this person, and for others you have left, but you still feel like you are bleeding emotionally, like you are haunted by their voice even in their absence. That too is hard, and you're not crazy. You are human, and trauma doesn't just leave because someone walks out the door. And that's a lesson that I also learned the hard way. When I walked out the door, I thought it was finally over, but I realized that trauma doesn't leave just because you walk out the door. I had to rebuild my life from scratch. And I discuss 11 core practices that helped me quit narcissistic abuse in my free ebook titled Reclaiming You, 11 Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Hacks to Reclaim Your Life and Your Power. And you can get a copy by sending the word hacks in the comments. And so send HSCKS in the comments right away. Don't procrastinate. Thank you. If you just did that, it means a lot. And so let's delve deeper into the video of the day, where we talk about training your mind, training your brain to do hard things. And so what is the power of training the brain? What is the power? What I learned in my healing journey is this: you don't wait until you feel strong to do hard things. You do hard things on your way to feeling strong. You do the hard things while still feeling broken, and that's how strength is built. You train your brain not once, not twice, but over and over and over again. And like a muscle, it learns, adapts. It also starts to believe that freedom is possible. That safety is your birthright. That peace is not just for other people, it's for you. It's your heritage. It's your inheritance in Christ. Christ gives you peace that passes all understanding, and so you can also leverage on this piece. So how did I train my brain to do hard things? 6 core practices. And so the first is I spoke truth to the lies. I spoke truth to the lies. When the narcissist's voice echoed in my head, "You're too sensitive, no one else would love you, you are the problem." These are things that the narcissist had told me. And so when they began echoing on my head, I started speaking back. out loud if I had to. You don't always have to speak out loud if you are in a setting where there are other people, for instance. But in my quiet moments, I'll just say, I'm allowed to have feelings. I'm deeply lovable. I'm not a problem. I'm the one who is healing. Every day I chose truth, even when it didn't feel real yet. You don't have to feel it to say it. You say it on your way to feeling it for it to become permanent, because your brain is rewired by repetition, and your brain doesn't need proof. What it needs is for you to repeat and repeat, and then it becomes like something the brain believes. Also, I made micro decisions. That's the second thing I did in training my brain. I couldn't move mountains in a day, but I could make one boundaries. I could make one phone call, or I could make one journal entry, or I could make one prayer. I trained my brain, proving to it moment by moment that I had the power to take my power back without needing anyone's permission. The third thing I did is I allowed myself to grieve. Yes, even if they were abusive, I let myself mourn the fantasy, the version of them that I wanted to exist. I trained my brain to stop pretending and start accepting, and that allowed me to begin again. I trained my brain to accept reality. The fourth thing I did in order to train my brain to do hard things was I moved my body, even when my heart was heavy. And most times, my heart was heavy. And so exercise, even gentle movement, became one of my greatest tools, not to change how I looked, but to change how I felt. When I walked, when I danced, when I stretched, or lifted weights, which I didn't actually do. I never lifted weights, but I did several exercise regimens that helped me sweat. I was training my brain to push through discomfort. I was training my brain to release thought trauma. I was training my brain to keep going even when everything in me wanted to give up. Movement reminded me that I still had power, that I still could choose me. Every day of sweat became a prayer, a protest, a promise to myself, I will not be broken. And so exercise basically was a way for me to take back control. It was a way for me to show that I still was in control of my life, even though it felt like I had lost control. The fifth thing I did was I asked God for strength, because sometimes I had none. And that's the honest truth. There were days I didn't want to get out of bed. Yes, honestly. There were days when my heart was so shattered, my brain was so foggy that I couldn't even think straight, let alone do something hard. But I cried out to God, help me, strengthen me. I can't do this without you. And it did. Not always in fireworks or dramatic miracles, but in quiet courage, in peace that passed human understanding, in the next breath, in the still small voice, saying, keep going, daughter, I'm with you. That was how I kept going, not by my power, but by grace. And here I am to the glory of God today. And so asking God for strength is a powerful way for you to train your brain, because God always comes through for you. And the sixth thing I did was I tricked my brain with a 5-minute rule. I basically told myself, just do this hard thing for 5 minutes, and then so I just told my brain, just do this hard thing for 5 minutes. That's it. Whether it was going, no contact, facing a triggering task or exercise when I didn't want to, I gave myself permission to stop after 5 minutes. But what happened? Those 5 minutes often turned into 10 minutes and then 20 minutes. And before I knew it, I wasn't just surviving the hard thing. I was growing. I was becoming a better person through it. And over time, my brain stopped fearing it and started to find pleasure in it. That's how rewiring works. One tiny decision at a time, and then it becomes second nature to you. And so these are the things that I did to train my brain to do hard things. After I quit my narcissistic marriage, I had to start rebuilding my life all over again. I tell you, my life was in tatters, but I thank God for where I am today. And I discuss 11 core practices that helped me quit narcissistic abuse in my book titled Reclaiming You, 11 Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Hacks to Reclaim Your Power and Your Life. And I've got it as a free ebook for immediate download, and you can get a copy by sending the word hacks in the comments. And so go ahead and send HACKS in the comments right away to download your own copy of the ebook. We are waiting for you to send hacks in the comments. Thank you if you just did. And so, as my way of encouraging you, I want you to know, my beautiful survivor, please hear me. You are not weak because you're struggling. It's normal to struggle after narcissistic abuse or while you're still there. But I want you to know you're strong because you're still standing. You already done hard things. You survived manipulation. You survived gaslighting. You survived soul wounds. Most people couldn't even imagine. You can train your brain to thrive, and you don't have to do it alone. God is with you just as he was with me. He is with you too. And so I want you to believe in the power of God to lead you, direct you, guide you all through doing hard things. And there's actually practical support for you. And so start today. Speak one truth aloud. Make a promise to yourself. Say no to one manipulation. Move your body in one small way. Choose one thing that affirms your worth. And your brain may be tired, your heart may feel heavy, but or shattered, but the fact that you're here means that shows me you are already doing the work, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means a lot, and I'll advise that you go ahead and like this video, because when you do, you're telling YouTube the kind of content to suggest to you. Also go ahead and share this video with someone who needs this encouragement, and also go ahead and subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. Why are you not yet subscribed to this strong and supportive community where we hold hands virtually in our fight against narcissistic abuse? And so go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified, because every Saturday 12 noon WAT we go live on this channel. And this Saturday we're going to talk about narcissistic cheating, why narcissists cheat, and what you can do about it, how to heal from narcissistic cheating. It's going to be an explosive session, and I look forward to having you in the live stream. And so don't forget to join us this coming Saturday 12 noon WAT right on this channel. And also always check our community page, because I'm constantly posting updates you can benefit from, and also check the descriptions to our videos. There are updates there that you can also benefit from. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate the time you invested watching. I'll see you in my next.